Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 37 of Reasons to Hope. The seasons are changing, and I don't love this. I am a summer girl, and I just recently moved to Ohio, back home, where I was born. And I had been living in Nashville for like 10 years before that, so I'm used to these really long summers and it not actually getting cold until maybe November. But here, the trees are already doing that thing where they crinkle their leaves up and it's ever so slight, but you can tell that something changed overnight. And the evenings are getting cooler, and my neighbors are telling me that it's time to plant bulbs for spring. And so I did that the other night, and it was the first time, I'm this new gardener, and I'm really loving it, and harvest is going crazy, and I have more than I can handle. But that's for another story. I will show you my harvest and tell you what I've been doing with it. But I'm planting these bulbs, and I'm thinking, this is the weirdest process ever. Like, I dig a hole, it has to be super deep, and I put these things that look dead in the ground, and then I bury them, and I say a prayer that they will make it through a super cold winter, and at some moment when the time is right, sprout from the ground and become the first sign of spring. And so to me, that's like this really powerful metaphor, or this experience of faith where we have to plant not only seeds in the spring to come to harvest in the fall, but also we have to be thinking even further ahead and actually bury things that seem dead and assume that there can be some sort of transformation or resurrection even in the darkest and coldest and most terrifying of times. So I don't love winter, clearly. I know a lot of people are excited about fall, and you're probably already drinking your pumpkin lattes and all that. I personally have not yet gone swimming, and so I came down to the Cuyahoga River. I'm in the Cuyahoga Valley National Park near my house, and this is one of my favorite spots. But I want to show you. So look at this. I don't know if you can see, there's this tree that I'm actually sitting on, and it's this beautiful sycamore tree that fell down during a storm recently. And so my whole life coming to this spot, it's a really beautiful little bridge here. And I actually one time shot a music video here called Say Love, a really long time ago, for some trivia. But coming to this spot over the years, it's been such an inspiring place for me. And I love this tree. I love sycamore trees, they're my favorites. And when the storm took it down this summer, I was really sad. But I also am enjoying the fact that I actually get to sit here on it and experience it from this other angle that I never would have, when it was fully planted in the ground. And it's still partly alive, and it's giving life to the river and to the understory. And so, again, part of that cycle of change. I see you drinking your pumpkin latte. All right. And yes, praying that the summer season lasts a bit more. I think maybe we all aren't, but I am with you on that for sure. But on that, thinking about change, it's like the seasons are this beautiful experience that we have in a way that we can connect with God and nature to kind of experience the life cycles, right? And I love in Ecclesiastes when, I think it was King Solomon, they don't really know for sure, but it seems like it was probably him writing it. So he says, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under heaven, right? So I actually want to read this to you because it's so beautiful. It's in Ecclesiastes 3. Also, by the way, I'm that weird person who's like hanging out in the woods, talking to herself, reading. So here we go. But you guys are all with me, right? Okay, this is Ecclesiastes 3. There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. That's like my least favorite time. A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. We all know what that's about these days. A time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent, a time to speak, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and do good while they live, that each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in their toil. This is the gift of God. I know that everything God does will endure forever. Nothing can be added to it and nothing taken from it. So powerful. So powerful to think about during the changing of the seasons, to keep in mind that there is a season and a time for every purpose. And we can either brace for the change or we can embrace it and we can become part of it. So sitting here looking at this river, it's like there's this bend and it's about to go a whole different direction. And those little tiny baby rapids, they have no idea what's happening, but eventually they're going to be redirected and you just go with the flow. It's a whole lot easier than fighting the current. So I have thrown a bunch of different mixed metaphors at us all today, but I just want to say thank you all for being a part of this community and for sharing your reasons to hope every week. It means so much to us to see the ways that we're all growing together in hope and gratitude this year. I can't believe it's been 37 weeks. I want to read this comment. Second anniversary, reflecting on the past seasons. Looking forward to this new season you're entering. Yes, that is so beautiful. Thank you. Please continue to share with us throughout the week. We are going to have an awesome Reasons to Hope special primetime edition next Monday. That's September 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. We have a special guest. I can't wait for you to hear who it is. That will get announced later on the socials this week. And happy anniversary again to Lamisha and all of you. Thank you so much. You give me so much reasons to hope, and I will see you next week.